So the way that this one happened was you guys asked me to look at a bunch of questions and be an utterly salty bitch. And so here I am. Don't say that I'm never nice to you. Hi guys, it's Leanne and welcome back to the Unpopular Opinions tag. Ooh. Also, can you tell it's my season? Channeling my true Wednesday Addams vibes here. I don't know why I have never done the Unpopular Opinions tag before. I think it's maybe because I just pepper unpopular opinions wherever I go. Hashtag brutal honesty. And so maybe I've never felt it necessary to actually just make a list of all of my unpopular opinions, but you asked for it, so here it is. The first question is a popular book or series that you didn't like, and I actually have two for this, and I'm gonna try and give variety in my answers. I'm gonna try and jump into all sorts of different genres and step out of my comfort zone a little bit to tell you all of the things that I don't like. The first one that I picked for this was the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. Or just any Brandon Sanderson, really. Any of them. Don't come for me in the comments. I tried. I really tried. I tried the Mistborn series. I tried 2 standalones. I bought many of them. And then somewhere in the murky depths of Elantris, I was just like, and I'm done. And they all just went away. Because as I mentioned that I don't hold on to any books that I'm not going to read again, because I am not a storage facility. This is my library and it must be functional, because it's also my studio and my office, place where I keep my knitting. The second one that I've picked for this is everything after Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, because I actually quite like that book. I know a lot of people have a lot of criticisms about it, and a lot of people have a lot of things to say about the adaptations and whatever. I don't mind this. I actually have quite a lot of affection for the main character in this series. But the Hollow Boy, it was terrible. It was like all of the parts of Lord of the Rings that I don't like. It was like every single mountain, lake, mountain, orc, mountain, tiny battle, mountain, stream, orc moment in Lord of the Rings. It was just a bunch of pointless, and it was all in the last 2/3 of this book. So they are also gone, which is a shame, because as objects, aesthetically, I find them very pleasing, but practically, need room for the knitting. The second one is a popular book or series that you love but everyone else seems to hate. And this gives me great, deep and abiding pain to say this, because I hate that people hate this series. I hate that people don't give it a chance past book 1. And that is the Rivers of London series by Ben Aronovich. Or all of this shelf. Right here. The Rivers of London series, if you haven't heard of it before, and sadly quite a few people haven't, is an urban fantasy series, but it's very different from anything else that you'll find in the genre. It is set in London in the present day, and it features Peter Grant, who was just a lowly PC constable in the Met, who was going to end up pushing papers because nobody really liked him, and he accidentally interviews a ghost and discovers that he has somewhat of an aptitude for doing so, and is shuffled off into the dying department of magic, essentially. Many times it has been described as Harry Potter if he grew up and then discovered that he was magical rather than going to Hogwarts beforehand. It's a series with so much to offer. There's so much diversity in there, there's so much feminism in there, there's so much LGBTQIA++ representation. There are so many elements in those books that are not in any other urban fantasy series that I've ever read, and I've read a lot of them. They're just not. And it's really nice for me personally to see a male urban fantasy lead, and not only a male urban fantasy lead, but one of mixed race. So there are so many things in this series, apart from the amazing writing, to recommend them. But the chief complaint I hear about this series is that in the first book, Peter, who is quite a young, quite an arrogant, very cocky 20-something guy who has never had a real proper knockdown in his life yet, is that he spends a lot of time thinking about boobs and the possible telepathic signals that people's boobs are giving him. And I get it, okay? I get it. I've reread the book a couple of times with that in mind. And there are so many more offensive things in the urban fantasy genre than the 3 or 4 mentions of boobs from Peter's point of view. Especially considering that later on in this book and in every book subsequently in the series, Peter is consistently, constantly and very, very strongly put in his place by so many tough women and tough non-binary people in his life who he then goes, oh, okay, not messing with you two. And so I just feel like it gets short shrift a little bit on BookTube. I feel like people write it off too early, and it really peeves me off because so often I see people giving urban fantasy and fantasy series in general, but also crime series and some thriller series, multiple books to get better, and it doesn't get better, but they hold on anyway. And for some reason, for like 4 or 5 mentions of boobs, this book is written off. And it just makes me mad because it has so much to give. There we go. I will now vacate my soapbox because I'm breaking it with the weight of my consternation. Y'all want it salty? You know that means lipstick on the teeth. The third question is, and let me try and get this one right, a love triangle in which the main character ended up with the person that you didn't want them to, or an OTP, a one true pairing of 2 characters that everybody loves that you hate. I feel as if it's a bit redundant to say Remus and Tonks, so I'm gonna move on from that and I'm gonna tell you other ones that I don't like. Many. I really don't like Robin and Matthew in the Cormoran Strike books by Robert Galbraith. I kind of feel like this is the situation that we've all been in, where we have a really good friend and they're with somebody who we do not value as a person because they do not value our friend. And you can't say it because once you've said leave him, you're that friend, you're the one who said leave him. And so you just kind of have to sit there like, when inside you just want to be like, he's a dick! So that's how I feel about Matthew. I also don't like the relationship, how do I say this without spoilers or names, that Fitz gets into throughout the first trilogy of Robin Hobb's Realm of the Elderling books. So the Assassin's Apprentice trilogy follows Fitz from when he's a really young boy all the way through to definitely a grown man, and very many bad things have happened to him, and this bad thing that's happened to him is just so minuscule on the scale of bad things. It's quite far down the bottom, and yet he spends a lot of angst thinking about this person, and I'm just like, I don't like that person. Oh, and finally, because I said I would go into a few different genres here, I don't get, in the Mercy Thompson series, I don't get you people who ship Mercy and Samuel. I don't get you. I'm just gonna say it. It's a bit rapey. It's not for me. It's not for me. Question 4 is a popular genre that you hardly ever reach for. And you know, when I was coming up with my answer for this one, I actually stumbled across the very sad fact that I rarely pick up middle grade books anymore, and I need to fix that because I love middle grade. I love the escapism of middle grade, and so yeah, I have no excuse for that one. So that one's on me. So of course my first instinct when I think about genres that I don't really typically read in is to say literary fiction, because last year I seem to be just slowly breaking up with literary fiction, and this year I've definitely been on the rebound from it in a hard way, and now somehow literary fiction and I are at the Facebook official It's Complicated stage. I've picked up a few recently that have been so purple prosy and just navel gazing self-reflective that I should just be throwing them across the room, but I really like them. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, why am I like this? Question 5 is a popular or beloved character that you do not like. I'm not going to talk about Harry Potter anymore. However, let's step away from that and think about answering these questions, stepping out of my box, as I said that I would try to do at the beginning. And I'm going to say Fanny Price from Mansfield Park. I don't get it. I don't get it. I look at characters that Jane Austen has written, like Eleanor, like Lizzie, even like Lydia and Mary, like Charlotte, like so many background characters in so many of her novels, and then I look at Fanny and I'm just like, you are having a bad day, girl. It was a bad writing day. It's alright. We all have them. Let's just move on. Question 6 is a popular author that you just can't get into. I mean, I feel like saying Sarah Pinborough or Claire Mackintosh is kind of low-hanging fruit at this point. So let me think and let me say, ooh, I know, Marisha Pessel. Don't get it. Loved the premise of Night Film and slogged through a good 300 pages of it to try and get to the place where something freaking happened, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. It was kind of like Marisha Pessel was trying to write a really, really topical, thrillery version of The Secret History, and she just kept reaching and hitting thin air, and she just couldn't stop because she started, committed, couldn't stop. And yeah, nah. Question number 7 is a book trope that you are tired of seeing. Once again, I think that would be somewhat low-hanging fruit to talk about the likes of missing people who you don't make me care about in thriller novels and other such trappings that I've talked about so many times. So I will rant about something that I haven't ranted enough about, I think, and it's the phrase, everything was perfect. I guarantee you, hand on heart, that I could go through this massive stack here of books to haul, or any of my crime or thriller or mystery shelves, and I could find you at least 10 books that have the phrase somewhere in the synopsis, everything was perfect. Because you know what? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Even if you thought it was. Even if you think your day-to-day is quite alright actually. Nobody in the world actually thinks, I have a perfect life. Everybody dyes their underwear grey at some point. Everybody goes shopping and forgets to come back with like the key component of your meal. Nobody's life is perfect. Nobody's life. Nobody's life is actually that Instagram worthy when you chip off the top layer. So if publishers could just stop putting everything was perfect in the blurb, that would be great. That would be great. I would love that. Question number 8 is actually one that's going to properly out me. And it is a popular book or series that you have no interest in reading. I'm gonna get so much hate for that. I actually don't. I don't care. I don't care that much. I care a little bit. Okay, let's just do it. The book and now the series that I have no interest in reading or talking about anymore, or watching, or seeing discussed, or seeing people dress up as, or listening to the opinion that it's the best and mostest feministest book in the whole world, is A Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This one, I don't care. Oh, I don't care. I get the principle of it. I know the story without having read the book, because that is how like saturated it is in popular culture right now. And as I am with all other books, I'm just kind of like, yeah, the hype train's hit it and I'm just going to sidestep the tracks. Yeah, so So bye to the 100 or so of you who have unsubscribed because you now hate me because that's your favourite book. And can I just say right now, before anybody says it in the comments, doesn't make me any less of a feminist that I haven't read that book. It really doesn't. Really doesn't. Okay, goodbye. And finally, the 9th question is, the saying always goes that the book was better than the movie, but which movie was actually better than the book? The first one is A Simple Favour by Darcy Bell. I hate this book. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's executed so poorly. It is such a very good premise and it is executed so freaking badly. There are so many things that don't make sense or throw you out of the story because they're so unrealistic. However, the movie was amazing. The movie was great. It was somehow both really sinister and really edge of your seat, whilst at the same time being really tongue-in-cheek and kind of like, I'm laughing, but it's in an uncomfortable way and I don't know if I should be laughing, but I'm laughing. My second answer is Apple Tree Yard by Louise Doughty, and it's not necessarily here that the book is better than the TV series or the TV series is better than the book. It's just that they're slightly separate entities and both are really good, and I really, really encourage everybody to actually go check out this series, not just because the series features one of my favourite actresses in the entire world, but also just because it's really good. It is a proper story of, do you really know this person, slash what it means to actually be a con artist and what it actually does to people's lives and how far it can go. And it's dark and it's creepy and it's very British, and the way that it's kind of all understated and it's all held below the surface and you feel like there's a constant tension on the top of your head the whole way through while you're watching it, and it's so very good. So there you go. You asked for it. I did it. I was horrible. Many people now hate me. I've outed myself as not a good enough completionist feminist, and yeah, there are a damn sight less of you than there was at the start of this tag. But you know what? I had fun because I'm all about telling my true bookish truth. I'm all about being a salty bitch, really. Okay, I'm gonna go now and I'm gonna enjoy autumn and Halloween and hide from all the hate that I'm gonna get in the comments. I would say if you want to do this tag, go ahead and do it, but I probably can't recommend it for, you know, your friendships. Please tell me down below if you hate any of the things that I hate. Comfort me. I like that. That's good. Comfort is good. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Hitting publish on this is going to be painful.